So a central angle is when you have an angle whose vertex is at the center and its legs are radii. So it's going to look like this.
Oh, it's lagging.
Yes.
Because I want you to draw.
That's a central angle.
It's just too many people around.
And this angle is equal to the arc that it intercepts. So if this angle is 40, this arc is also 40. Now, that's not how long it is. That's the measure, how many degrees out of 360 it is. And then I drew an inscribed angle, which looks like this. An inscribed angle has its vertex on the circle, and its legs are chords. So in this case, this angle is half the arc. This angle is half the arc. Okay? So let's talk a little bit more about inscribed because they can look lots of different ways. So it says inscribed angle is an angle whose vertex is on a circle and whose sides contain chords of the circle. The arc that lies in the interior of an inscribed angle and has endpoints on the angle is the arc that it intercepts. So it says angle BAD is an inscribed angle. So there's my angle BAD. What arc does BAD intercept? What arc does BAD intercept?
BCD.
BCD. Because it's going from here all the way around here. So BCD. Number 2 says, name another inscribed angle and the arc that it intercepts. So give me another inscribed angle.
ABC.
ABC. This is an inscribed angle. So angle ABC intercepts what arc? ADC. Okay. And the inscribed angle is half the arc that it intercepts. Okay. We're going to talk a second about polygons down below, so don't worry about that next section for right this second. All right, so there's some things we need to know about inscribed angles. The first thing I told you yesterday, an inscribed angle is half the measure of its intercepted arc. So the measure of angle ADB is half the measure of arc AB. So the measure of angle ADB is half the measure of AB. Okay, the next type of picture you're going to see is something like this guy. If two inscribed angles of a circle intercept the same arc, okay, so this is angle P. What arc does angle P intercept? SR, right, or RS? Okay. What about angle Q? What arc does angle Q? SR. So if they intercept the same arc, then the angles are congruent. So this angle and this angle are congruent. What about angle S and angle R? Would they be congruent? Angle S and angle R? Yes. This next one seems easy, but we kind of forget by the time the test gets rolled around. if a right triangle is inscribed in a circle, inscribed means it's inside a circle and the vertices are all on the circle, then the hypotenuse is a blank of the circle. Okay? A diameter. Because if this is a right angle, this is inscribed. This is a semicircle, and it's half of the semicircle, which is 90. So angle B is inscribed, and it's half of that semicircle. So the measure of angle ABC is 90 if and only if AC is a diameter. The measure of angle ABC equals 90 if and only if AC is a diameter. Yes?
Wait, I'm kind of confused on like how you find the angle of like AC, because then you say it's like half, so it'd be 45.
No, it's.
I'm only talking about
180.
angle ABC
It'd be
because
180,
it's
right?
half of the semicircle, which is 180. So it's 90. A quadrilateral can be inscribed in a circle. First of all, what's a quadrilateral? It's a four-sided figure. If and only if its opposite angles are blank. So let's look for a second at this picture. So for this picture right here,
Or complementary. No. Supplementary.
so we've heard equal, supplementary, complementary. We know it's one of those.
Supplementary.
Okay, so let's look at angle D. Angle D right here is how much of this arc? 1/2. So angle D is 1/2 the measure of arc EG. Angle D is 1/2 the measure of EG. What about angle F?
1/2 of
EG.
Of this other side, right? So angle F is 1/2 the measure of EDG. Angle F is 1/2 the measure of EDG.
So those two arcs have to be
What do these two arcs have to equal?
360.
360, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because both of them together make what?
I mean, a circle.
The circle. So that means if these are both half, then what do those have to equal?
180.
180. So, a quadrilateral can be inscribed in a circle if and only if opposite angles are supplementary.
Wait, you said that EDG is right?
What?
No.
No?
Wait, what are you saying? How it? I don't understand.
Okay, I need you to
Supplementary.
rewind.
What do you mean?
Are you talking about angle EDG or arc EDG?
Angle EDG.
All I said about angle EDG, which is this, is half the measure of this arc right here, because it's inscribed. And then I said angle F is half of this arc. And what do the blue plus the green have to equal? 360. And these two angles are inscribed, so that means that they're half of 360, which means that they add up to be 180. So anytime you have a quadrilateral inscribed in a circle, opposite angles are supplementary. So E and G would also be supplementary. Okay? All right, go to the back. intercepts arc what? Angle S intercepts arc what? RT or TR, doesn't matter. So what is the measure of angle S?
30.
30, because it's half of the arc. An inscribed angle is half of the arc. Okay, angle R intercepts arc what? QS. So QS is what? 74 because it's double the angle. Okay, so this is 74 degrees. So what would RQ be? 106. How do you know that?
Because that's a semicircle.
Because that's a diameter. And so that's a semicircle, so it has to equal 180. If it's a diameter, it's either going to tell you it's a diameter or there's going to be like a center marked so that you know that's a semicircle.
Wait, so if there's a dot in the middle, then that's a diameter?
I mean, there should be, like, look at the difference between the pictures for, like, number 2 and number 3. So I don't know that this is in the middle because there's nothing there telling me that, but I know that this is going through, so that's a diameter.
How do you get RQ?
180 minus 74, because that's the semicircle. All right, look at number 2. We want to know the measure of arc HJ. So we're looking here. So what is the measure of arc HJ? 78. And then what is the measure of angle HGJ? 39. Because they intercept the same arc. They intercept the same arc. All right, I want you to take a minute and try 3, 4, and 5. See what you can do with 3, 4, and 5. number 3, I want to know what arc AB is. So on most of these questions that you will work, you can answer them in multiple ways. So I should know that this is 90 degrees because it intercepts a semicircle, which means that this has to be 40, which means that that arc has to be double that. But also, you could have looked at it as, well, if I know that this is 50, then I know that this arc is 100. And this is a semicircle, so this has to be 80. So you could have done it either way. Okay, now it's asking me for angle NPO. So that's this angle right here, NPO. So PO is 68, which means that NO is what? What?
34. It's a semicircle.
118.
I'm talking about
118.
It's 112.
112 because P all the way to N is a semicircle, right? Yes? So angle NPO is half of that, which is 56. Did we need 118? No. All right, angle A. Angle A. Nobody?
Oh, it's supposed to say.
What?
73.
73. I was getting kind of worried.
I didn't know it was supposed to say
Sorry.
something like.
Name 2 pairs of congruent angles that are not vertical. Name 2 pairs of congruent angles that are not verticals. Give me one pair.
P and
Angle P and angle Q. Angle S and angle R. A right triangle is inscribed in a circle. The radius of the circle is 5.6 centimeters. What is the length of the hypotenuse of the right triangle? So you can draw a picture, but if I say to you a right triangle is inscribed in a circle, then that means the hypotenuse is also the what? The diameter. Okay? A right triangle is inscribed in a circle, then that means that if the radius is 5.6, then the diameter is 11.2. All right, on these last 2, they're super easy right now. We just forget what to do when we get to our test. Just remember, anytime a quadrilateral is inscribed in a circle, opposite angles are supplementary. So to get y, you would do 180 minus 100, which is, and to get x, you would do 180 minus 88, which is 92. Okay, take a minute and do number 9. for x, x is inscribed. And so to get x, we've got to add these two together and then divide by 2. So what do I get for x?
Whatever 183 divided by 2 is.
91.5? And then y is here, so we have to add those together and then divide by 2 and get 106. All right. We're going to work a little 6-question little puzzle sheet for, it's going to be central and inscribed. So you're going to work on that by yourself for a few minutes. You can check with your neighbor after you work.